These are some gloves that I bought recently to do work around the house. So today I want to show you how they fit, describe to you how they feel, whether they're good for gripping and whether they have like a nice texture, how durable they are, and what the finish is like. So let's start with the fit. These are a size small, and the first thing that you'll notice is that they have a pretty wide cuff. Now look how quickly I can put these on. So this is good because you want to be able to put on gloves quickly if you're doing food prep and you want to just change them out very quickly. I really like that. Now the fit, it does have this wider cuff here, which is nice. Now even though the cuff is wider, I find that when I'm doing different types of repetitive motions, the cuff doesn't tend to slip or roll off. So that's really good because I don't want the cuff getting in the way. Another thing about the fit I want you to pay attention to is the fingertip space. This fits really well on my hand, and in a moment I'll show you my measurements, but you can see that there's no extra space in the fingertips, which is really good because then that helps me with tactile function. I can actually grip things easily when I need to. Now here's the size guide. I would say I needed to go a size up because if I am doing what the size guide says, I'm putting my hand here, you would see that I actually am closer to a size extra small than a small. However, if I went any smaller than this, it would be too small. I like the way that this feels. I like that there's not a lot of extra space in there. But if I were to go to a size extra small, I know that they would not fit at all. So again, here's a look at the specific measurements. And this is the width from your first finger to your pinky. And we're not spreading out the fingers, we're just doing it like this, just like the guide says. So I personally would say, even though it's an extra small, I'm going a size small, and you might want to consider going a size up. Now let's talk about the feel of these. I really like how soft these feel. They're really nice and flexible. I don't get that like crinkly sound that some other vinyl gloves make, so I think these are really well made. Now if you look closely, you're going to see that these do not have textured fingertips. I am doing mainly food prep, household work. There's nothing really important I need to grab onto that I feel like is slipping out of my hand. So these for me, for housework, food prep, they work. They're fine. I'm not complaining that I don't have textured fingertips. Now let's talk about how well these work when you need to grab your phone and do something on the phone. This actually is a great glove that doesn't prevent any kind of resistance on my phone. So I can go through my phone as little or as much as I want. I have no problems with that interaction on my iPhone. Okay, so now durability. Let's talk about durability and how well these stretch. If you're yanking these on, you can see we're not really having any issues with this tearing, and I love that. What I will say is that when I was washing my pet's pee pads, I wash it in this big bucket, and I'm a little rough with them. I don't have long nails. I keep my nails short. I did notice that one of the fingertips tore. So even though this is a 4mm glove, it didn't hold up to that kind of, I guess, rough work. But that was really the only instance. If I'm, let's say, in the kitchen doing food prep or any other things, like these are actually pretty good for not getting any like leakage through. I haven't had any other issues other than that one instance of these tearing. So I do think the 4mm is good, and maybe that was just one instance where it happened to tear. I'm not sure if I was being too rough with it, but most household tasks, I feel that this 4mm is nice and it does the job without tearing. All right, last thing, let's talk about the finish. So you can see when I take these off, these are powder free. They don't leave any kind of residue on my hands, nothing like that. There's no weird odor or anything that you get from these vinyl gloves, which I think is important because a lot of people have sensitivity to smell. So you shouldn't notice that. All right, so my overall impression of these Schneider vinyl gloves, I like them. They are very comfortable to wear. They are pretty durable. Other than that one time that I was washing my rabbit's pee pads, I still do like cleaning, housework, I do food prep, and I haven't had any issues with like leakage or any other tears. And so I do find that they are pretty durable, and I really like that they don't have a smell, they don't have like an annoying crinkly sound, and they don't leave any kind of residue on my hands. So I like these. I definitely think they're worth it. They're a good price, and I would buy these again. I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please consider giving it a like and letting me know that this was helpful for you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.